Alright guys, well, I tried to make another video with my big camera, I'm trying to edit it and it looks like it's gonna be really, like the audio is not gonna be great. So I just really wanted to show you guys what I've got going on for my plant starts. So I've got my super hots here. Some of these aren't looking really great. They were getting beat up by. I'm not really sure what it was. Some of it is just from being in a cold area. Like this right here, that purple is just from. And I don't know if y'all. Let me see if I can get. Okay, you can see the purple in the leaves that is seeming. It's getting where it's going away. Plants are warmer now. I've got them over here on these heat mats. I've got 2 heat mats, but that's still just not really enough space for everything that I've got going on. Now, the video that I tried to make earlier was just of me potting up these San Marzano tomatoes. A dozen of these are going to a friend of mine. The rest will be planted or sold. Might, get rid of a few of them in a garage sale. Still have a couple of super hots that I haven't potted up. They're, some of them just aren't really looking all that great. That one right there, I'm not sure exactly what's going on. I'm not seeing any pests, but it definitely seems like something is getting to these guys. It's not damping off. So I don't know. These 2 might get potted up. I don't know. I do have some other little pepper. Those got seeded way too dense. I don't even remember what I put in these cells. So that's gonna be fun. Those guys won't get put out into the ground until long after it's too hot to for anything to really fruit or set fruit. I've got my eggplants and onions. These 2 different types of eggplants. No, I didn't label them. I'm horrible about that. I plan on getting better, maybe. But this is it's Black Beauty and Long Purple eggplant. These got in about 2 weeks after my tomatoes, and all of my super hots went in about a month before my tomatoes. So super hots are notoriously slow to grow, so I tried to get them in really quickly. As a matter of fact, the beginning of January, if I'm not mistaken. I don't write things down like I should. I also have this tray of salad greens. This was just a mix of salad greens that really look delicious already. These will be going. Yeah. These will be going in ground this weekend. That's what me and Dominic will be doing. This is spinach. Also will be going in ground this weekend. That fig over there, it's actually jumped and just really got live once I got it on this heat mat. So they do need that warmth to get going. I rooted that end of summer, and it didn't really do anything inside. It was already pretty cool, or starting to cool down. Even though it was hot until like October, it just didn't really do anything indoors. And I kept expecting it to get cool, so I went ahead and brought it in. Anyway, so yeah, these tomatoes are all potted up, but these are all San Marzanos. These 2 varieties are One is black creme, and the other is a brandy wine. I'm not sure which is which because I don't freaking. Ugh, I'm kicking myself in the ass for that every year, and I do it time and time again. I wanted to show you something kind of funny, because this is the tray my San Marzanos came out of, right? Okay, so look at that guy. That guy has grown nothing but two very large cotyledons and nothing else. I'm not sure what happened. That is some kind of genetic mutation. It's gotta be, and it's a little concerning. But to be quite honest, I'm of the thought process that when you have just select genetics, that mutations like that happens. And this is why I will forever keep the attitude that we need to breed, you know, crossbreed as much as you can. I know there's a lot of people that are gonna hate that I said that, but you know, black folks need to be breeding with white folks, procreating. White folks need to be breeding with Hispanics and blacks, and everybody just crossbreed, because that's when you get that genetic diversity that keeps us healthy, and keeps us from being susceptible to diseases that will just wipe out an entire race, or an entire people. You know, and yes, I said that. Be mad if you want to, and you know, this is just. I am multicultural. My son is multicultural, and many of the people in my family are. And I know for a fact that I do not get sick. I have not been ill. I have not had a cold or anything in over 10 years. So, you know, just take that for what it's worth. But anyway, so these will just shoot out as soon as they start developing roots along their stems. Those adventitious roots will do a lot, and make these much stronger plants. And I expect that they'll probably at least be probably a foot each when they go in ground, in a little less than a month. I'm hoping these eggplants will catch up. This is the first time I've ever done onions, like started sets in cell trays. I'll let you know how that works out. I don't know. So we'll see. Um, Other than that, that's pretty much it. Um, I'm hoping some of these super hot peppers recover. Um, and you know, I'm looking for them to look more like this when they go in ground. Some of them, I think, I got a little waterlogged, uh, and they're recovering. I did squeeze some of the water out of the soil or soil media. I've got some other peppers back there, but those are just, you know, your run of the mill. One of them's a sweet pepper, and one of them's a Hungarian wax. One row of each. Um, I do like Hungarian wax. It's like a type of pepper that I can literally go outside and just eat them off the vine. And yes, they are hot, um, but they kind of give you the womp womps. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of makes me a little bit delirious, and it's funny. Um, but yeah, so most of what I've got going on is pretty healthy. Um, I've got this angel wing begonia down here that is just really loving this cool environment with this strong light, um, and I'm okay with it. I've got several aloes. I've already talked to you guys about these avocados that aren't really doing great, but now they're starting to flush some new growth, and we'll see how that works out. These are gonna go under some 50% shade cloth out on my back deck. Both of the avocados, and oh yeah, and this mango. It's, you know, it's coming along. It's actually growing, which is surprising because they are slow. Let me make sure that's not. Hold on, I need to make sure that's not aphids or something under that leaf. Let's see what we got going on. That's exactly what they are. Yep. So that's about to get sprayed under each leaf because aphids will quickly wipe out a lot of plants. Uh, they're just not pleasant creatures, but that's nothing to fix. There are a lot of people that say that neem doesn't work, and I would say to those people, you're not using it properly, or you're not using the proper or the right kind of neem. You need cold pressed neem, people. That stuff they have at Walmart. It just does not do anything. And that's a hydrophobic extract. Now, a hydrophobic extract of neem might, upset some pests, but it's not going to get rid of them. And depending on what you're treating, that's going to determine what ratio of neem to Castile soap that you're going to want to use. I find that with something like beetles, like I had a huge infestation of harlequin bugs, clicker bugs, and stink bugs a couple of years ago. It really was like my first year just going completely organic, which was actually probably about 5 years ago. But I used 2 tablespoons of neem and Dr. Bronner's Castile soap, peppermint. Don't know if the scent has anything to do with it. And I only used it on the large infestation. So, I mean, if there was a large concentration of all of these bugs, which it was, I used two tablespoons of each in a quart of water in my sprayer. And I just went around and sprayed the hell out of all of them. And that worked. Something like aphids or thrips or mealybugs, I use about a half a tablespoon or a teaspoon, somewhere in there, and just drench the plant. And that will, take care of anything, or at least in my experience. I don't know if maybe um, I'm I'm not catching something, but it's worked for me. So I will continue to use neem and Dr. Bronner's soap on any. I don't, if I see one or two, I'm not gonna trip. The beneficials in my garden will take care of anything that's super, or any small infestations. I'm not gonna spray for one bug or two bugs or even 10 bugs. But if I see 10 or 15 bugs on one plant, then absolutely yes, I will get out there and spray them with some neem. But that hasn't been a problem since since after that first year, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Um, it was pretty simple. Just knock out the big concentrations and go from there. So yeah, I'll set up some grow areas on my patio or on my balcony that you guys can maybe mimic or whatever. If you don't have actual in ground space, and I'll show y'all guys how I do that when the time comes. It's still about a month before we can get start putting things outside. I'll start hardening certain things off. Probably the tomatoes will go first because at least the San Marzanos can take a little bit of a frost. About a year, well, maybe 2 years ago, or 2 springs ago, I got some San Marzanos and some purple Cherokees out in the ground a little bit. Well, what I thought was on time. After we didn't, we were out of the woods as far as frost, and I was at my college plant sale and ended up, temperatures got around 29 in some areas in the Metroplex, and that was April 9th. I was at my college plant sale, so you know just your average last frost date is not your, out of the woods date. It just means that, you need to start looking at your longest forecast and see if that doesn't give you some help. Um, yeah, so tomatoes probably going ground next couple of weeks. Um, it says February 20th. So I'm thinking, with some protection, I could probably get at least a few of these in ground, and if they die, then that's a sacrifice that I'm willing to make, for an early harvest. Um, and I'll just protect them, and hopefully we get some warm days to warm up the soil a little bit. Anyway, so that's about it. Like and subscribe. I'll try to figure out what the deal is with my camera, so I can actually do some much better videos. I'm looking at some video editors right now, trying to. I want this to be a better channel, and it's going to happen. I just have to figure out the little, the ins and outs of some of this technological stuff. I'm not super good at it, but please bear with me. I love you guys, and I love showing you what I have going on in my garden. Um, and yeah, just give me a chance, and we'll see you guys again soon. Take care.